This laminate router, now this base is attached to a Bosche laminate trimmer, and actually this is a base that I developed, and I developed it years ago when I was doing laminate on a regular basis. And the unique feature of this base is that instead of using a bearing, you're riding on this plastic laminate surface, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but this edge is not broken. And what that means is that you can go around a radius, and since this is not cut out, the cutter isn't going to drop into the radius. So those of you guys that are doing plastic laminate know what I'm talking about. I know you don't do much laminate, but you kind of got the drift on what I'm talking about. This router base can also be adjusted for a flush or a bevel cut. And you can do that by adjusting the base and adjusting the depth of the router bit because it is cut in a bevel and a flush. Now, the nice thing about this is when you're actually routing with this, now let's see if we can, here, let's move this router out of the way here, Ken. And maybe we can get a close-up right here. I know we're working on the back side, but the beauty of this is that you can do an end cut, you can go across and down, and even underneath if you need to. So I'm going to come up right here. Okay, now that's ready to apply laminate to the top surface. It doesn't have to be hit with a sander. I leave it just a hair full so that you get a good bond with your contact cement right at this edge. Now the flush trimmer, as I was explaining to Ken earlier today, without a bearing surface on here, you've got a wide spread on your fence. So if you're going over a particle board edge, you don't get all the bumpiness in there. So if this were a shelf, let's say, going in a cabinet, and we had one edge that was laminated, but we wanted to trim it all the way around, we'd still want that to look nice going into the cabinet. Okay, so you can see that those edges are nice and straight on here rather than being very bumpy. Now this is where this tool really shines, and I'm not quite sure how we can do this, but here, let me do it this way, and just untangle me there a second. Can you get a close-up here right there? All right, now what's going to happen, we're just going to check it. There we go. Okay, now, this seems like a pretty insignificant cut, but what it's actually doing is this base is totally eliminating the possibility for bearing burn on this edge. Bearing burn occurs when your bearing freezes up because you've loaded it up with glue that hung over the edge, or if it just happened to freeze up. You got to remember that laminate bearings are very tiny, the balls are very tiny, and they tend to freeze up quite frequently, okay? And if you've ever had your balls freeze up, it's a real drag.
That happens with small balls.
That's right, exactly. So anyway, what this does is it rides along the surface and gives you a flush cut if that's what you need. Now,
one thing I wanted to point out about this.
Adjustability.
Adjustability. Oh,
okay.
Actually, before we show this, we've got a commercial in just a couple more minutes, so let's go over the safety, and we'll show the adjustment right after the commercial.
Okay, that'll be great.
One of the things, I had never seen this tool before in use. Once again, I'm not a laminate guy. I come from the solid surface world. John comes from the laminate world. But I was amazed, having been a shop owner, how safe this tool is right here.
Yep,
because
absolutely.
the way John designed it, the only way you're going to get your fingers caught in this or something other than what you're supposed to be cutting is if you actually make an effort to put it in there. And I thought that was really great because that takes what is definitely, I think, one of the most dangerous tools in the shop, the router, and Like I said, I can run my hand over the top of it, no contact with the bit.
Ken's real safety conscious.
Yeah, I am.
I just go with it.
Does the trimmer base work only with the Bosche router? Where's your trimmer?
Yes.
Or they want to know, could they buy it to fit a DeWalt?
No, it only fits Bosch. We happen to got started with Bosch. We made them only for the Bosch trimmers. You know, for $179, it's worth it to have one of these. You know, if you have to buy another router, you have to buy another router. It's something that should be bought and left set up in the shop. It's just well worth it. There's no doubt about it. And this is the flush bevel base, and the whole router is called the flush bevel trimmer. It's available as a base only if you do have the Bosch laminate trimmer 1608 motor.
Okay.